I would say I'm Tommy. Angelica's mean to him, but Angelica was Jamila. She would have probably been back here, but I mean, she's not here, so it doesn't matter.
Big Brother begins now.
Definitely a little emotional. I didn't think I would get so emotionally invested in this game. I was so close to having the votes to keep Jamila, and I spoke too soon, but everyone was being a shady cunt, and they wouldn't tell me who they were voting for until like the last 10 minutes before the eviction. I know that my game is fucked at this point, and I feel like I just really let down Jamila, and yeah, I don't even know what to say. Um,
So I was safe. I was freaking out on Thursday. I didn't know what was going to happen. I figured that maybe I was going to stay. When we got into the eviction ceremony, I kind of knew that I was staying just because Simon had said that he was going to save me right before, and that was kind of what it was hinging on for some people. And when I told them that, they all were like gung ho, like they didn't want to be. Nobody wants to be in the minority. That's the only thing I'm not a huge fan of in Big Brother is nobody wants to be in the minority because nobody wants the next round to appear that they were working against the house. Kyle and Nick Kyle threw a vote for Jamila because they are like married and therefore one person. And Nick threw a sympathy vote for Jamila, which was weird. I didn't realize that they were that close, but okay. And then I got everybody else's vote to stay, so that was pretty cool.
I can completely say this HoH. I don't know what the fuck happened. My original targets for the week were Jamila, and Kyle S. And it was set in stone. I had everyone on this plan to get one of them out this week. And then Jamila and Kyle get on call with me, and they give me this information about how Brandon has been playing this whole house and how he called me an idiot on call, and it was really good information. And I was like, geez, I don't. And they're offering me like alliances, but when you think about it, Tom and Brandon didn't really like ever offer me alliance. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm like connecting these dots. I was really mad at the time because I thought me and Brandon were really close, and I had to put him up. It sucked because I see Brandon as a good friend, and you know, I had to do it. And Brandon goes up and he gets on call, and everyone's calling me after the veto ceremony, and it's just really crazy and it's really wild, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm like having a panic attack. I'm just like, ugh. Brandon, his shady ass, recorded a conversation with Jamila and Kyle and Nick. I'm not one to like really get upset about things that are said to me on the internet because I know I've said shit. They said stuff, and I was like, it hurt because I was played. I just, at that time, I knew I fucked up. I really did. I made a huge mistake. And I've nominated someone, and I cut a lot of ties, and I lied a lot this week. And I fucked up. It sucks. I really, really was trying hard to play a smart game, and I just fucked everything up. Winning that HoH, I mean, I definitely think I woke up the game. I think a lot of people are playing it really hard now, and they don't know what's going to go happen. And, I can obviously turn this into something good, but in my head, I have a method to all my madness. And I feel like other people said they just see me as crazy, and I probably am crazy. I unintentionally Chaos Simon really just fucked up the whole house, and now I don't want Chaos Simon to be like Chaos Simon fucked over my game. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. I don't think I have any solid allies but Mateus.
Good evening, I'm Julie Chen. Welcome to the fourth head of household competition of the season, Eliminator. 2 house guests will be selected at random to begin. I will read a statement about the ongoings of a particular week. The possible answers are week 1, week 2, and week 3. Your job is to decide whether the event occurred in week 1, week 2, or week 3. To submit your answer, you must type the answer in the Google Hangout. The first person to submit an answer as it appears on my screen will count. Accuracy is most important, followed by speed. I will be very particular with how you submit your answer. You must spell out the number and capitalize the first letter of each word. If you submit first, but submit something other than the 3 possible submissions posted here, you will automatically be eliminated from the competition. This includes using numbers, adding or removing a character, using 2 spaces, using a comma, a period, literally anything other than the phrases I post exactly as it appears will get you disqualified. If the person rang in with the correct answer with the correct and accurate submission format, they will win that round and select the next 2 house guests to compete. This process will continue until we have a new head of household.
We had our 4th HoH competition. It was Eliminator. Basically the worst case scenario for me coming in from last week.
All right, so I had Simon pick 2 random numbers between 1 and 7. He selected 4 and 5. These will be the first 2 house guests competing. We have envelope 4 here. And this envelope has Tom. You'll be competing in round 1. And he also picked envelope 5. And you'll face off against Brandon. So Tom and Brandon will be the first 2 people competing in this competition.
It was super funny because Tom and Brandon were chosen at random first, and they're definitely the people I wanted to be paired up at the get-go because I know that they're both gunning for me at this point.
Question 1. This week's HoH competition was the only HoH competition so far that was held on a Thursday. Tom rang in with week 2. That is correct. Brandon, I'm sorry, you've been eliminated. You must leave the Google Hangout. Tom, please select the next 2 house guests to compete.
I will pick Kyle H and Kyle S.
So Tom eliminates Brandon, and I knew immediately that he was going to put me up. And lo and behold, I get put up next to Kyle H.
Question 2. During this week's nomination ceremony, Matthew received the 6th and final key. Kyle S. rang in first with week 3, but it was incorrectly typed. I'm sorry, Kyle S. You have been eliminated.
I'm really disappointed because I knew the answer to the question, but I formatted it incorrectly. Instead of typing out 3, I put the number 3 for week 3. And I eliminated myself, and it was not the way I wanted to go out. And I'm definitely super disappointed that I fucked up the rules on that competition, so definitely extra bummed about that.
Kyle H., I need you to pick the next 2 house guests to compete.
Tom and Mateus.
All right, next question. In this week's eviction ceremony, 1 house guest did not show up and thus lost her right to vote to evict. Mateus rang in with week 1. That is correct. Tom, you have been eliminated. You must leave the Google Hangout. Mateus, please pick the next 2 house guests to compete.
Nick and Kyle H.
Question 4. In this week's veto ceremony, unlike the other weeks, the veto was not used. Nick rang in first and correctly submitted week 2. Kyle H., you've been eliminated. Please leave the Google Hangout. This automatically makes Mateus and Matthew the next pair to go. Question 5. In this week's veto competition, house guests had to solve a riddle from OTEV and bring back a unique tile piece that represented the correct answer. Mateus rang in first with week 3. That is correct. Matthew, you have been eliminated. Please leave the Google Hangout. We now have our final matchup, Mateus and Nick. One of you will be this week's new head of household. Question 6. In this week's head of household competition, house guests had to correctly identify whether a statement belonged to Max, Marie, or Chris. The correct answer is week 3. Nick, I'm sorry, you rang in first with week 1. You've been eliminated. Mateus, congratulations. You're this week's new head of household for a second time. Congratulations.
And
Mateus surprisingly wins the HoH, his third competition win, second HoH, 3 out of 7 comps he's won. So he's definitely the comp beast of our season right now.
Once again, I'm pissed because Mateus wins HoH again, and I was so close, and if I just shut the hell up and didn't answer wrong, he would have answered wrong first and I would have won, but no. So, I'm pissed. This is bullshit.
We're so cute.
Oh, God, last week was so fucking stressful. I just hope that shit.
I know, and I'm sorry I put you in that. Like, that HOH was so fucking stressful because every single day I would get a new batch of information.
No,
and
okay.
I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you didn't have to fucking vote, okay?
Yeah, I heard. I was like on the bus ride and I just heard hell was breaking loose. I was like,
literally, I think I went on like anywhere from 4 to 10 calls with every person on that fucking event.
yeah, I heard.
I
Like,
was
heard it
nonstop on call with people from like 3 p.m. until eviction, and then you missed the eviction ceremony. And
yeah, what happened at the eviction ceremony?
Jamila cussed us the fuck out.
I can only talk a little bit.
Jamila was like, "Fuck you, Matt. Fuck you, Mateus. You guys are fucking traitors."
In BB Basic House, we have a basic tradition about Call Me a Liar, eviction night, and bring up Mateus' name because this is funny and this should be tradition. And I'm pretty sure on this week I will be called again because I am too good. I feel like Vanessa from BB17, like everyone hates her, but no one is going to evict me. They haven't chance to even nominate me because I am in power every week, bitches.
Simon, you better be happy because I fucking voted out Jamila.
I didn't.
I don't know.
Wait, Kyle.
What's the other vote then?
Nick voted for Brandon.
What the fuck?
I have proof. I voted for Jamila.
So
I
it was
called
Nick.
her.
Wait.
I called her 3 minutes before, basically crying, and I said, Jamila, I'm so sorry, you know that we're going to stay friends after this, but I'm voting to evict you. She said that's okay.
I don't know. I honestly don't believe Kyle H. I don't.
Yeah, I've thought that I will just put Kyle H and Kyle S, but if you want to stay with outsiders...
Okay, but it's getting to a point where we kind of need to start thinking about endgame.
I know.
And I think smartest thing for both of us is bringing Kyle H and Kyle H and
Matthew is like hype everywhere, so I think if we go with
Matthew's like the perfect go.
Yeah, I know.
My 2 allies that I have a final 3 deal with have won the last 3 HOHs. Oh my god. I seriously need to fucking pull my weight though, because I am just gonna get like Victoria to the end of this goddamn game.
Well, even if you evicted her, my typo she would have left either way. Well, yeah, so who is our target? Like,
Nick, Brandon, or Tom, I don't give a shit. That's my target.
Why not Kyle S?
Because Kyle already lost Jamila. He's got nothing anymore.
I mean, he's still a comp threat.
No, he's
still a threat.
I am comp threat, Lord.
Well, I still think Kyle's
not a fucking comp threat.
Okay, but I mean, I just had an HOH, so I'm gonna lay down. This week,
Kyle hasn't won shit. I think me, Brandon, and Kyle are the only ones in this game that haven't won a competition.
I mean, I'm one of the 3 people that haven't won any comps this season, and I'm really embarrassed because I thought I would do a lot better with my Super Smash Brothers skills, but I definitely haven't translated that well in these little comps. So I've gotten close a few times, but no cigar.
I need to get my ass in gear though. I need to win some competitions and I need to figure out a plan because I feel like after last round I just got so disjointed that I was gonna go home that I just lost all hope of any alliances. And I even feel like Tom was really weird yesterday on call with me. He was like really short. He was talking to Kyle S. I'm a little worried. I'm like worried about what Tom is doing. I pick up on people's like energy and like their personalities and like Tom just didn't seem like Tom yesterday. And he's like, oh, I felt bad for putting Kyle S and Kyle H up together and that thing. And whatever. Tom's super nice. I get it.
And I can't believe it's already Final 8 yet.
Final 7.
Final 7. God. We have majority.
All we have to do is put up 2 of Brandon, Nick, Tom. And if the third one gets drawn and used for veto, and like uses it, then we just put up Kyle S.
Yeah.
And like we can send either Brandon, Nick, or Tom out the door. That's what I want.
I'm really hoping Brandon, Nick, or Tom goes this week, and it seems like that's gonna happen. I'm so happy. So happy. Yes.
Mateus, what do you want?
I don't know yet. I want to talk to people and see what maybe there's less blood on my hand.
Well, because whatever you are going to do, obviously we're going to support you.
Yeah.
And I mean, whatever you're going to do, I already fucked up last time.
Unless it's putting 2 of us up, then we're not supporting.
I am going to sleep, boys. See you later.
Nighty-night.
After work.
That's on your HoH.
Bye.
Good night.
I am so excited.
I'm so fucking happy. Well, like, if we think about it, there is somewhat still a duo in the house.
Tom and Brandon.
Which are on the other side.
Yeah.
And, well, and then there's Kyle, Kyle S, who's just kind of mad at everyone.
Kyle...
But here's the thing, I think if Kyle S wins HoH, I will go
I'm going up Simon.
No. Kyle's going after the same people we're going after.
No, we just got out his number 2.
Kyle's going after...
If Kyle S wins, wins HoH, I will...
Brandon is the one that blew up Jamila's game. Or rather, Jamila and Kyle tried to blow up Brandon's game and it backfired. So Kyle still wants Brandon out. Kyle has told me he'd go after Brandon and Tom.
Well...
Put Nick up against Tom. Because you saved Brandon. So like that would be shitty to put Brandon up immediately after you like voted to save him.
I will.
Okay, guys, I'm going to sleep. So
okay, good night, Mateus. I'm gonna do homework.
Good night.
Honestly, if I need help, I will come to you.
Seriously,
trust and believe.
I love this shit.
Okay, I will. Okay, bye, Matthew.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know. I don't want to put Tom.
Okay, that's fine.
I will go for KS and Nick because I know they will go for me. This is
that's beautiful.
And I don't want to make Matthew happy because this is my HoH, not him.
Like I said, Lily, do what you want because I feel like I really don't see like a foursome between those 4. Because I think that Brandon, Tom, Nick
aren't together because Nick asked to vote with Brandon.
But this should be a pretty easy week.
It should be, but it won't be.
It won't. And I know that's why I said last HoH. When I was like, this is gonna be an easy week, and it was the most stressful week of my life. Well, if Nick and Kyle S are on the block,
I want
final nominees.
I want Nick gone.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Because Nick is legacy, he's good at competition. He always is in the end of competition. But always I beat him. You are looking at competition based. Coming into this game, I have no idea how competition will look like. But I guess I am like a dark horse of this house because I already won 3 of 7 competition, and you won't stop me, bitches. When I have to win, I am winning. Like, I was down to me and Nick at final 2 at last competition, and I beat him because he's stupid and make mistakes, and I am genius because I would go for week 1 like he did, but I was like, oh my goodness, I can't find number A. I'm like, oh my god, he proposed. I'm like, okay, I lost. I mean, I can say bye, but he was wrong, and he's the best HOH of this.
It makes me laugh at what he says and the things that he says. I probably sound Italian right now. This is really insulting to Polish people and or Italian people. But he's like, I got to go to the Google Hangout, and I said, he didn't say one. He said, it's just for me, for HOH. And I said, oh, okay. He said, no one is safe. And then he just like ended it. He is crazy, and I love him.
Not feeling good at this point about my chances in the game at this point, because I know that on Thursday I was definitely playing very emotional, and I definitely like snapped at Matius like 5 minutes before the eviction and kind of hung up on him because he was just being a shitty person, and it was just really annoying. And yeah, so I'm not going to be surprised if I'm one of the nominations tonight. Honestly, like, I'd probably see myself next to Kyle H at this point. And honestly, it would be amazing if I somehow did not go on the block and it was Tom and Brandon, but I have a feeling they're going to be good. So, I mean, people have tried to comfort me saying that, no, you have more bridges now that Jamila's gone, but I just don't really feel that way anymore. I feel really alone at this point.
I don't like Mateus being HOH at all. He already put me up once, and he'll likely do it again because I didn't vote to evict Jamila on Thursday like I said I was going to. There was a lot of back and forth, and I knew at the very end that Jamila was going to leave anyway, but I voted to evict Brandon just because, like, I told Brandon and Tom it was a sympathy vote, which, I mean, it pretty much was, and they seemed fine with it, but I didn't talk to Mateus at all because he was being so annoying. He was calling me like every 10 minutes on Thursday night before eviction, and I just got sick of it, so I stopped talking to him. And now I'm probably going to go on the block again. Like, I'm not even going to bother begging for my life because Mateus just does whatever the fuck he wants anyway, and there's no convincing him to do anything. He's just a complete... He just makes whatever decision he feels like making at that second, so I don't even care right now. And the only thing I did say, I said, are you putting Kyle S up? Which seems like it would be the obvious choice. Kyle S. and Matthew for nominations, and he said no. And I said, well, do you know who's going up? And he's like, I don't know, I think I know, but I haven't decided yet, which means that's Big Brother speak for you. You're going up.
I mean, I'm definitely feeling a lot better now. I definitely had like an Audrey moment this weekend. It's kind of laid in bed.
For all I know, it could be my little white ass going up, and my ass is super white, so that has no reference to this.
So, you know, it might not be the end of me, but I'm not going to keep my hopes up and find myself disappointed. So I'm just going to expect the worst because, honestly, that's probably what's going to happen. But we'll see tonight.
I have my own plan. I don't need people tell me what they want because I don't care. But of course, KH and Matthew want Brandon and Tom out, but Tom is my bestie and I won't fucking backstab him. I am not like... Everyone calls me like I'm a liar, but I'm stick to Tom because we have made deal, and stick to Simons because I have made deal with them, both of them. I don't care about others.
Welcome to nomination ceremony. As HOH, my responsibility to nominate 2 people for eviction. I will pull the first case, the person is safe. They will pull the next case, and so on forth. The first person safe is Kyle H.
Thank you, Mateus. The next person safe is Matthew.
Thank you, Mateus. Sorry, it froze. The next person safe is Simon.
Thanks, Mateus. The next person safe is Tom.
Thanks, Mateus. The last person safe is Brandon.
Changoya Mateus.
This means I have nominated you, Nick, and you, Kyle S. Nick, I have nominated you because I need at least blood on my hand, and I nominated you a week too, so I'm doing it again. Kyle S, I feel like last week they will grow a wall between us, and this is why you are going on be on the block right now. This nomination ceremony is enjoyed.
At this time, I feeling like I'm going to put on the block Nick because I did it for the first time and I don't need more blood and enemies in the house. And I am going to put Kyle as because he's my best pawn in this house and I want Nick gone so badly.
I think I'll be able to get the votes to survive, honestly, I think, but I'd really like to see Kyle S stay in the game as well because he's kind of an outsider and I was aligned with him closely before, so I'd want him to do well too. So hopefully Vito's finally an upset and fucking Mateus doesn't win another competition.